you've answered my next question, why CNQ in that one run. But I think from my point of view and from many investors, and I'll get you to comment at the end how relevant that is that when I see this, obviously, as I said before, I think water is on the top of issues. And then I see your major shareholder, Robert Friedland, there, and knowing where he's puts himself in terms of new technology, new ideas, new concepts, gives me that confidence that, hey, maybe I'm not a lone soldier here, whereas this guy must know what he's doing. He's investing his own money. And so when I went to summarize CNQ, is that sort of the picture that you want the world or the shareholding investment community out there to see, is that CNQ is stable, or should I maybe, rather than put words in your mouth, is that the image that you want people to see CNQ as going forward?
So I'm not sure if I fully get the question, but let me try to answer it, which I think you're asking for. We are in an early stage. I think we've shown enormous growth. We show enormous potential. We have backing by some visionary investors and mining people, right? So before I finish that sentence, let me emphasize that mining is just part of our business. Our water solutions business is also, for example, oil and gas and industry, and municipal. But leaving that aside, if you look at sort of the big picture and the growth, what you see is an enormous amount of focus, investor focus and money being ready to be deployed in water. And what you actually see is a huge mismatch at the moment, especially in Europe and the US, and to some extent in Australia, of money that's waiting to be deployed in water. And that's pension funds, but it's also big companies. It's also companies like BP and Shell, so the big oil companies, for example, that have said we need to spend, of the projects we build, we need to spend, say, 5%, 10% in water. In China, it's actually regulation. If you build a huge municipal, you need to put them on. So there's a lot of money, but it includes investor money of the big funds that's looking to invest. The problem is that the number of technology companies out there that are sort of ready to receive that money is very limited, right? There's a lot of general engineering companies, and there's companies like ours, which a lot of people are very interested in it, but they're looking at us and we're a bit small. So if you're a big pension fund, we had that when we just listed, right? If you're, or another fund, or a PE fund, etc., you are looking to deploy that capital in water, but you often have minimum requirements. You need to be 100 million market cap or 500 million market cap, etc. So, and that mismatch, in a way, that's what we're trying to bridge. So we're looking to grow in the next 2 years, 3 years, into a level where I think the amount of interest and money to really improve the water sector and therefore water availability is enormous. There's enormous interest and I think an enormous demand. And I think the challenge for us is now to go from where we are today to reach that size, to reach that coverage, to have that proof, to have that portfolio, and then suddenly a lot of big companies will be very interested.